Welcome back to the Elite OSHA safety training. This is our third video. First video was our about OSHA and safety. What is OSHA and what is the safety? Second was some fundamentals regarding safety. Now this is the third video which we will discuss the details. What is the hazard definition and how to identify the hazard? Then risk. What is the risk? How to calculate the risk, and then others, all general hazard we will discuss. This will be video little long because it will take the all hazards what we are facing the journals in our sites. So let's start. Hazard. A hazard is anything with the potential to cause harm. Which of these are hazard? Even the glass of water is a hazard. Any electrical drill, sheet of paper, ladder, tube, glue. In the general or normals, if we can say any item or any situation or any activity which has the potential to cause harm us is called the hazard. Anything or any situation has the potential to cause harm us is called the hazard. Hazard means a source of situation with the potential of harm in terms of human injury or ill health, damage property, damage to environment, or combination of these. Incident means an event as the potential to harm or injury a person or the environment. Induction training refer to several steps of the training dependent on the whether employee is new to industry, new to the site, or performing a new work activity. MSDS material safety data sheet, which we will discuss more detail in once we are discussing the chemical hazard. Then SWMS safe work method statement, that is also we will discuss in the next topics. What is the risk? Risk is nothing without the two things: likelihood, the chances, the how things can go wrong, and then severity, consequences. If something went wrong, then what will be result? How much injury, how much ill health, how much will be property damage. So multiplication of the likelihood, chances to things go wrong, and then severity, what will be result? This is called the risk. The likelihood of the harm being released from the hazard, will someone get injury? The severity of the harm released from the hazard, if someone injured, how the serious it will be. So risk is a combination of likelihood and severity. Likelihood, like as how the things can go wrong, our situation, work environment, activities. The likelihood is the chance that hazard event will occur. Okay, if I will give here one general example to understand what is the risk, what is the likelihood and severity. For example, one electrical board is fixed with proper wall, or may it has itself own proper cover, and it has only 220 voltage. So now to get the electrical shock is chances very less because it's fully covered, proper fixed with the wall. There is no any wire is open, and then it has a 220 voltage. For example, if someone person even intentionally put the finger or it's went finger by mistakenly in their electrical board, like so. After getting the electrical shock, may the person was active, and it is the like 220 voltage, and it's the AC current, as AC current have the alternative current. It's one time is peak plus point, then zero, then minus peak point, and then zero. So may the person was more young, more active once, even it's coming for less than second point, even coming very short time and 0 point, but the person is active, may he attack back his hand and he is safe. There is no more injury, no more ill health, no cardiac arrest, no burning. So that's why I said that the risk is here less. Instead of opposite this scenario, if I open this electrical board, now it's hanging condition with the wall, and I keep there, put there 440 voltage. Now the chances to become with the wire content is more because it's open. And now also the 440 voltage with the high voltages, even the personal just touch, and then directly high voltages will cardiac arrest can happen, the serious burn can happen, so property damage as well. So this is the view how we can say that risk is less and high. So according to my environment, according to my power tools, according to my activities, so I have to first calculate my risk. Then I will check if the risk value is acceptable. We will see in the next coming topics what is the acceptable values and what is not acceptable. We have to put there more control measures, so that we will discuss in the coming topic. So this is the way actually how we can see the risk is which level and what is the risk. Same in this coming video, like coming slides, like likelihood, this chances that hazard event will occur, consequences, the result, consequences is the outcome of the hazard event. You can see in this picture there was hole on floor, the person is fell down, and now it was like chances to person get a trip and he will fall down, likelihood was high, and then as well as severity, we saw the person is become injury, serious injury, maybe broken their leg bone. So this is the actually formula for the risk calculation: likelihood multiplied by consequences. Risk is a combination of likelihood of a hazard even occur and the consequence of the event. So how we can check low to high and high to low? In this picture you can see only the hole is here, and the person if they get the trip and he fell down in this area side, there is no any like others item can get the heat, or may he will not get the much injury. But in this is high, as you can see here others item like box is there, and if the person get a trip here, and may he will be get hit from this box and he will get the serious injury, head injury. So according to my environment I can check, I can calculate what will be risk, what is the likelihood, what is the chances to things can go wrong, and if the things will went wrong, then what will be result, what will be consequences. So how to calculate the risk or how to take a risk assessment? So for the risk assessment, to identify the hazard is the first point. In the identification of the hazard, these are things we must have to know. list of the work or task, location, people, equipment, and activities. Then, if we know, then we can identify the risk, hazard, what are the hazard, who might be harmed, and how might be harmed. Then you need to consider two things: how likely is something could go wrong, and how the serious could be outcome. Then evaluate it as here risk matrix showing, like increasing the levels of the height, and then consequences. Now that you estimate the risk, what are the you going to do about that? In the coming slide we will show you that how to calculate what is the consequences and what is the likelihood in more detail. Record finding the location, activity, and equipment being assessed, hazard and risk levels, risk control, assess the details, date and time, and then review date. Review your finding when the changes occur the personal equipment or activities. You should review your risk assessment. It's a legal requirement to review the assessment regularly. Now, according to these ladders, it's very easy to understand what is the consequences and how is increasing and how the our risk is increasing with this kind of. In this picture you can see there's the three different type of the ladders. The condition of the ladder is very clear, and according to these ladders we can understand very easily how the things can go wrong, what is the probability of the person falling according to this ladder's condition, and then also according to level. Once the person standing here, so if in this ladder, if I talk about first this ladder, the overall ladder condition is very well, very good. Upper lock is there, footpath lock is there, overall all steps are there. And then if the chances is less, if the workers is working in this height, so height is less, so maybe consequences will be also less. So chances was less due to ladder condition and height less, so my risk will be less, low. Then if I talk about same ladder, second level, so now the chances, the likelihood is same. The ladder condition is good, the chances to falling down is less, but still now on this level consequences will increase, severity is increased. Why? Because now the height is increased. May the some person fell from this height, may he will get the serious injury or serious illness happen. Then if the consequences increase, likelihood but still same, but if the increasing of the consequences, so my risk value will be increased. So in the third level, same ladder, this is the peak point of the ladder. So the person if standing here and he fell down, may he get the serious injury or may fatality. So this is the consequences are very high. Still our likelihood is same, but due to my height, consequences, severity is increasing, so my risk is increasing. So on this level, with this ladder, the risk will be high, but not more than these two ladders. Then if we talk about this ladder, so you can see there no any upper lock, no any foot locks, overall steps are broken, are not proper. So if the person is working here, now Even the height is less, but still the chances to falling down is little than high instead of this ladder. So my risk will be high than this according to this ladder. Then if the person will reach in this point, second level, now the risk will be more high because the likelihood, the chances while falling down is high, and then also the height is increased. So person if the fell down will be get the injury, and then if the person reach on the peak point, now my risk will be more high because the likelihood, the chances to fall down was high, and severity also increased. It's using on peak step, so that my risk will be high. This ladder, first we cannot able to do the work, we have to stop. Either we have to do, but here all level is the risk will be very high because likelihood is very high because ladder condition is very poor. Then severity also high. So either the person working here, either here or either here, all steps, all levels, the likelihood, the chances is more. So that's why our risk will be high. So like in this table you can see this is like first ladder, second ladder and third ladder. So if I talk about first ladder, first level of the height, so it's green, like acceptable, like likelihood was 1, severity was 1, 1 by 1 is equal to 1, so it's acceptable. So if I talk about the first ladder, then height level 2, so still our likelihood was same, less, but little height is increased, so little risk is increased, so 1 multiplied by 2 is equal to 2, so still is acceptable, we can go for this work. Then the first ladder, the third step of the height, so now still our likelihood, the chances was less, but still due to height our risk increase. So then we can go with the more, like if possible to avoid on this level. If not, then we have to take care more, give the more training for the person, so then they can go for this level of the work height. If we talk about second ladder, the first step of the height, so 2 multiplied by 1 is equal to 2, so still is control normal, we can proceed for this activity. So ladder number 2, height level 2, so 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to 4, so our risk is increased, so we have to give the more training, proper PPE, use the 2 person on the ladder, one should be hold and one should have to do the work. Then the second ladder, the third level of the height, 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6, so now my risk is increased the more, which is the orange color is have to more moderate. Then if I talk about third ladder and first step is starting from yellow, maybe we have to give the more trainings and we have to give the proper PP to person who is doing this work. Then the third ladder, second step of the height is 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6, which is high, we have to moderate. And then at the end 3 multiplied by 3, the third ladder, the third level of the height, so it's very high, it's unacceptable, we must have to moderate, we have to change the ladder, then we can go for our activities. In this you can see more clearly that first 2 is acceptable, 3 to 4 is tolerable, look to more improve, and then 6 to 9 is unacceptable, have to take the immediate action. So now as we calculate the risk, so these levels are accepted. Which is not acceptable, then how we can reduce? So according to my risk level, I have to choose the hierarchy of the control. So these are the hierarchy of the control. First, we have to try eliminate the hazard. If elimination is not possible, then reduce hazard with the substitute, then prevent with the content, then do the safe working system, and then the remaining will be covered by the PPE. So what the meaning of the elimination? We have to remove physically the hazard from that activities. For example, the person is offloading manually some material from the vehicle, which he get the muscular back pain. So if I have to eliminate, this is possible to eliminate. So if I bring the forklift or crane to offload this load, now whatever the backbone pain, injury, muscular pain was risk there, so I eliminated. Now I bring the machine, so it will be offload. So all kind of the hazards, all kind of the risk are not possible to eliminate. So wherever not possible to eliminate, then go for the substitute. In this you can check person is waiting for train, but instead of, if they use the substitute like taxi, they can save their time and safely they can reach there. Or either if we can talk about like paint, if we are using paint like solvent, water, like petrol solvent or thinner solvent, and we change with the water solvent, now is less than hazardous which before we were using. So this kind of the substitute we can choose to reduce our risk. Then prevent or safeguard like engineering control. If in the first picture we can see here there is no any safeguard was there, so it's chances the person hand can go inside and he can get the injury. But in the second picture you can see there they keep their guardrail, so now the person hand will be protected, will not go inside. So like this kind of the engineering control, additional guardrails we can use to protect the person, to protect the content from the hazard. Then safe system of the work, like we have to provide the proper trainings, we have to provide the proper inspections, we have to do the proper safety investigation, incident or accident, permit to work, that all will be considered as a safe system of the work. If we are doing, then we will be do the safe system of the work better. Then the remaining hazard we will cover by the PPE. Due to age, also the risk is matter, like age 16 to 21, very young age, so the 20 times the person is getting injury or ill health. After some experience like 21 to 25, it will be reduced now because they have the experience, they are aware. Then 26 to 30 is again more reduced because they have now more knowledge and more experience about their work and activities. This group discussions, like the person is standing which is not proper working platform and is not using proper safety harness and very dangerous, this kind of the working activities we have to avoid and we have to stop. Personal protective equipment, as we discussed already before. Can other measure reduce the risk source? Like what we was in the risk matrix, we see between 1 to 2 risk value will never come 0. So remaining whatever 1 or 2 which was acceptable, that we have to cover with our PP. Further control level of the risk, performance data for the PP, compressions, and then PP is the register. Safe system of the work, a step-by-step approach to carrying out the task safely, taking into account the risk and control measure, the equipment needed, the environmental emergencies, and the competency of the work. Assess the task, identify the hazard, define the safe system, implement the system, monitor the system. So these all things as considered as a safe system of the work. Permit to work, also the safe system of the work. Any hazardous activities we have to do, more hazardous activities we have to do, we must have to make a work permit. Like some examples are here. A permit to work system is a formal written system used to control the identify as being hazardous. For example, work activities such as working in excavation, working in confined space, high voltage electrical work, hard work like cutting, grinding, soldering, welding. So these all kind of the work if we are doing, we must have to take the permit. And then COSH, working with the chemicals. A permit to work must be include details on issued by, received by, clearance, like what are the hazard there, what are the PPs required, and if any others measures we have to be keep there. We must have to, like if we have to go for the confined space, so must be gas tested, should be done. These all we will discuss in the next videos in details according to our activities, what kind of the permits we will be required and how the permit should be filled. Then cancellations as well. If after completion the work we have to inform and we have to cancel that permit. So that's all in this video. Next video we will see what are the general hazard. Thank you so much.